much because of their alliance with Palestinians who are caught in the crossfire between the latest round of violence by Israel and Hamas. It's a big story that certainly garnered international attention as we continue watching it from our vantage point. Good afternoon to you, by the way. You're now with Newsfeed PM. I'm Ayanda Ngati. Great to have you with us. And let's continue with our rolling coverage around that particular story. Members of the Palestine Solidarity Alliance have condemned the attacks against Palestinians in Gaza. The PSA has also come out against the United States, which continues to aid Israel in this ongoing war. Members of the organization and residents of Lenasia have gathered in support of families who lost their loved ones and were killed in the Middle East. Newzroom Afrika's Katlego Sekgoto is in Lenasia for us and is watching developments. She joins us now live, and a number of sentiments being shared, many of them echoing the sentiments of the ANC there, Katlego.
Indeed, a very good day, Ayanda. It's been one speaker after the other expressing their solidarity with the lives lost in Gaza due to the Israel-Palestine conflict happening there. And, taking the podium, the speakers have really outlined their sentiments as a community of Lenasia that, their loved ones that have passed away, have been killed, and the violence going on there and the injustice that the Palestinians suffer as they consider the, oppressive regime, if you will, of the Israeli government upon the Palestinian people. But so it's been the sentiments given by the speakers following the walk that started at about 8 o'clock this morning, and this is where it's finished off. And yes, it has been the speakers taking to the podium outlining their sentiments as it relates to that devastating conflict. But I do have with me from the South African Communist Party, Alex Mashilo, to just chat to us about why he's here as the SACP in particular. Mr. Mashilo, thank you for your time. What is the message of the SACP in regards to this war that we're seeing?
Our message as the SACP is quite simple. In our land of South Africa, there was the so-called the Potchefstroom Republic established. There was the so-called Transvaal Republic established. The British established the Cape Colony and the Natal Colony. All these were controlled by the settlers, while we, the people of the land, were discriminated and oppressed through racism and super exploitation in the economy. That is the situation the Palestinian people find themselves. In 1948, just after the World War II, Europe and the United States created the settler state of Israel in the land of the Palestinian people. That state was expanded systematically through expropriating the land and the property of the Palestinian people. The Palestinian people find themselves where we as the African people of this land of South Africa found ourselves before 1994. We pledge our solidarity with them. We understand that they, like ourselves, have the right to stand up and fight for their freedom. We are here to express our solidarity for their struggle for freedom of the historical Palestine.
Now, Mr. Mashilo, while this event considers the families affected in Palestine or in Gaza, the Palestinians, the other sentiment is that, well, lives have also been lost on the other side. Israelis have also, died, have lost their lives. When we look at the positioning of these two, that both sides have lost, what do you consider as the Communist Party?
Look, in South Africa during our liberation struggle, there were lives lost on both sides. And insofar as we were concerned, our struggle was just against the occupiers. So the Palestinian people's struggle is the just struggle against the occupiers. The life lost on the other side are lost because the other side expropriates the Palestinian land. As I speak to you now, it's so bad. The people in the apartheid Israeli state have self-determination. They have a state that they use to kill the Palestinian people. The Palestinians do not have a state. They do not have a right to self-determination because the Israeli settler state is depriving them of that right. Who between the two is wrong and who is right? We stand unequivocally with the people of Palestine in this struggle because their struggle is the same as our struggle against apartheid and a colonial land dispossession and occupation in South Africa.
And lastly, Mr. Mashilo, what is your message to the communities in South Africa as it relates to the message they've received from the South African government, which has clearly stood with the people of Palestine? How can they continue to stand in solidarity with those in Palestine, but also understanding that this bigger conflict hurts both sides?
This bigger conflict, of course, hurts both sides. But who started the conflict? That is important. Unless you understand and appreciate who started the conflict, you will not resolve the conflict. The conflict was started by the Israeli settler state, which is a racist state in the land of the Palestinian people. That racist state must immediately end its occupation of the occupied Palestinian territories. It must immediately give the Palestinian people their right to self-determination and freedom. Only that guarantees an end to this conflict.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Mashilo. Thank you. Ayanda, you heard it there from the South African Communist Party national spokesperson, Alex Mashilo, outlining the Communist Party's solidarity with the people of Palestine and calling out the state of Israel and its oppressive regime against the people of Palestine, and that this raging war continues on and the consequences continue to be dire.
Absolutely. Strongly held views about what is taking place in the Middle East. But Katleho Zokotso, you're in Lenasia for now. Thanks very much indeed.